Okay, so hello everyone. Yeah, could you tell me what is the date for the project submission? Okay, we'll share the date by tomorrow for the project submission. So, hello everyone. Again, welcome all to the day 5 of Firebase for Web. And here I will talk about cloud storage. You can use cloud storage for uploading your like maybe object file, block type of file, like images, audio file, media file, or any other file. You can use it. So let's start it with the storage. So cloud storage is a kind of service within a Firebase where you can upload objects. It may be media file, audio file, text file, any kind of file you can upload on the cloud file store. And you can use with the multi-platform, like if you're working on web platform, you can use storage. If you're working on mobile platform, you can also use it. Or if you're working on C++, Unity, anything, you can work on it. And like this is very secure in terms of, because if we have a cloud security rules, you have to apply security rules so that no one can upload the file, no one can read the file. So you have to apply some security rules for XYZ location within a cloud storage. And then this is built on Google infrastructure, so it will automatically scale up once maybe your file size or storage is maybe 500 MB. It will automatically increment your file size or the space storage, and that all kind of things we can do with the help of storage. So like, as you know, like we have worked on authentication, so we have a set of methods, like within a, like if you are working on Google Auth, so we have two methods, pop up, and second one is for the redirect. And like if you are working on email and password related authentication, so we have sign up user with email and password. And similarly for the cloud uh, file store, we have a method like add, set, delete, update. So similarly in storage, this is not file store. In cloud storage, we have a methods. So for example, first method is for the uploading a file into the cloud storage. So again, like we are using Firebase, so I have written Firebase. Inside Firebase, we are using storage as a service, so we have written storage, and then we need to create a reference. So reference is just like as a folder name. So let's say my reference is a folder name is the images, and inside images I need to upload a file. So for define, first we need to define a child means, or like we have a images name folder. Inside we need to define a file where we have a file name is file name dot jpg or png or any other file extension. This will be the file name. And then you need to call a method, put method. So put method will help you to upload the file into cloud storage. So here you need to pass file, that's it. So within a single line of command, you just able to upload your file into the cloud file store, not file store, storage. And then we have another method. So like once the file is uploaded into the cloud storage, then you can get the downloadable URL. You just need to use this method, dot get download URL. That's it. So it is a JavaScript promise, and we have to handle with then and catch block, and we can get the URL or downloadable URL. And the third, we can delete the file in cloud storage. So we can delete the file with the help of dot delete as a method. And the last, we have a method dot list all. So we can use dot list all method for get the all file within a directory. Like for example, I have a directory images, so I can collect all the file with the help of list all method. Okay. Now, yeah, so this is an example. Like for example, I have a file, so I need to upload this file. So this is a code snippet. For example, uploading a file. So we are using Firebase. Inside Firebase, we are using storage. So we have written Firebase.storage, and then we need to define a reference. So reference is just like as a directory name. So let's say my directory name is images, and inside images I need to upload a file. So maybe you can create a child method for adding a customized file name, or you can directly call this put method. And inside put method, you need to pass the file. So maybe you can create a input element which will take as a file as a input, and you can pass the input, and that's it. Okay, so this time we'll show you how we can implement the code part. So I'll share my entire screen. Okay, so this is my browser. So what I'll do, I'll go to the console. So this is a Firebase console. So we'll create a new project. Let's say my project name is File Upload. This is my project name, File Upload. I can change the ID if it is, I can change like web-app maybe. Okay, so I'll change my ID, and will be the ID, and this is a project name, File Upload. Okay, click on the continue button, and then right now we are not using Google Analytics, so I'll just disable this one, and then click on create project. So we have to wait for this part. Till that time, you can open VS Code editor. So this is my VS Code editor, and this is a desktop. Here, let's say I'm creating a new file directory. So this one is for the cloud storage. So I'll write cloud storage. So I'll just drag this folder into the VS Code editor. So this is a workspace. Okay, so this is a folder here. As you know already, like we can initialize the Firebase hosting. So we just need to type Firebase init. I'll just increase the size so it will be easy for you. Okay, so first we need to type Firebase init for initializing the Firebase project. Okay, so it will ask, are you ready to proceed? Yes, I am ready to proceed. And then we are using Firebase hosting for hosting these applications. So I'll just select the hosting and then press enter. Either you can go for the existing project and you can create your own project. So yeah, my project is ready. So I'll click on the continue button. And the same step, like we have created a project. So I'll go for the use an existing project options. And then we have a projects, like we have created a fourth project name is file upload web app. So I'll select this one and then press enter. And then we need to type a directory name where we can add index file, CSS file, JavaScript file, or static file. So just will type public, or maybe you can change the file name. So it's totally up to you. So I'll type public. And then right now we are not working on single page applications. So we'll just press no. And similarly, we are not working on CI/CD part GitHub. So I'll just press no. And then, yeah, so my Firebase hosting is initialized. So we have some random, like by default file, public file directory inside, we have index.html and some configuration file. So I can run this project. So I'll just type Firebase Serve for running this project local machine. So this part you know already. So I'll just, yeah. So Firebase, okay. Firebase. Okay, so it will serve and you will get the URL, localhost URL. So I'll just open this URL, localhost 5000, and this is a by default file. So what I'll do, I'll go to the index.html file, and maybe I can, yes, this is the index.html file. So what I'll do, I'll click on and will delete this page, and I'll save, and we'll create a new HTML page from the scratch. So here, what we can do, we can write like Firebase file upload. I'll save and just reload this page so it's working properly. So now what we can do, we can deploy this page. So we'll go to the terminal again, because I just hide this terminal. So we have two terminals. First terminal is for the local machine, and second terminal we can deploy the website. So we'll just write Firebase deploy. Okay. Okay, so this is a hosted URL. I'll just open this URL into the web page. So yeah, that's working. Firebase hosting. So now I will go for the storage part. So what I'll do, I'll go to the storage. So this is a storage. Click on the storage part, and then click on get started button, and then we have some security rules. So this is a security rules. As I told you, like this storage service is very secure. So right now this security rules will like you can read and write, means you can upload the file, you can read the file uh, if you are authenticated. But we right now we will create a project where anyone can upload the file. So this is a by default security rules. I'll just click on the next button, and then same for the cloud storage, we did in for the Firestore. So we have to select the reason. So maybe you can select the reason. So maybe you can select this one or another. And once you select the reason, you cannot change the reason in the storage and Firestore. So click on the done button. So it will create a bucket. Bucket is just like as a place where we have to store or upload the file. Okay, so we have to wait for a second. Till that time, maybe you can create an input box for the file input. So we have to type is equal to file. So there will be a uh, like this one, input file input box. So when we click on this button, so we can upload the file here. Okay, so this is my storage bucket here. This is a simple UI. Maybe we can create a project, not project, we can create a folder. So maybe let's say my folder name is image, and inside this folder we can upload the file. So let's say this is an image directory, and inside we can upload the file. So maybe I'll upload this one. And this is a simple UI part what we can do. But we want to create the programmatic logic with the help of JavaScript. So we have a set of functions we have to use. So first, same thing. So we have to go to the project setting. So same we did for the authentications, cloud storage, Firestore. So we'll go to the project setting, and then you just need to initialize the web app. So I'll just click on the web app, and then you need to register a web app. So let's say my web app name is file upload as a nickname, and then click on register app. And this is a SDK file you can collect, and then copy the code and go to the console. And yeah, so before closing the body tag, you just need to paste it here. So this is a by default JS like library or for the Firebase, and this is a configuration file for our project. So now we have to follow the same thing, like we have to copy the SDK for the specific services like we did for the authentications and Firestore. So we'll just go to the documentation. So this is a Firebase documentation. And then we'll click on get started for web. And then we have options available libraries. So we'll click on available libraries. And then we have a plus symbol, available JavaScript, available Firebase JavaScript SDK from the CDN. And then we'll search cloud storage. So I'll just copy this path, and I will paste after this is a Firebase core SDK. So I'll just paste after this line. And that's it. So this is very easy. So now I can use Firebase cloud storage. So now we have to work on the JavaScript part. So right now we have a UI, like we have to select the file. So maybe we can select a file. So first we need to call a functions. So we can call, yeah. So, okay. So here maybe we can provide an ID, like similarly as an input field, we can create an ID. So maybe I'll type files as an ID, this one. And then we have options for the multiple. So like at a time we can select multiple files. So this one is for the multiple. And then we here we can also perform some JavaScript actions like on click and on change. So right now what I'll do, so I will go for the on change. So whenever we change the file, so we have to call some function. So my function's name is upload file. So this is a function name, or either you can go for the add event listener. Okay, so this is a function name. So once we change the file, so we have to call this function. So here we can define a function. So I'll just type function, then this is a function name, and then we can call a function. So let's suppose I'll call in the function console.log, and we'll write function calling. I'll save, and then we'll reload this page, and then go to the inspect element, and then we have a section for the console. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just select the file, and then function is calling. So now I need to pick this file. So how we can pick this file? So I'll just type, like, first we'll write document, and then get element by ID, and here we have a ID for this file is files, just because of right now we can upload multiple files. So this is ID for the files. So here I will write files. Now, like as for collecting a text, we have to write dot value or as a number. So similarly, we can do that. But right now we are working on a files. So we have a key, like we have to write files. So it will give you the files, like multiple files. So maybe here what we can do, we can create a variable. So we can write files is equal to and dot files. Okay, so we can print these files. So right now I'll use console.log, and I'll just print files. Okay, so I'll just reload this page. So right now I will select only one file and click on the continue button. So right now we have only one file as a, this is an array, and inside zero index we have a file which name is this one, the size, this is a type, and this is the last modified. Or what I can do, I can create select multiple file. I'll just press control and then select multiple files, and then this one. So we have a three array, zero index, not, I have selected two files. So we have a array with two elements. So this is at zero index and at first index. Okay, so now what I want to do, I will go for the first file. Like whenever you are selecting a multiple file, so I will upload a first file. So I need to go for the first index. So I'll just type zero. Zero is for the first index. So like whenever like you will select the multiple file, but first file will be selected. Okay. So this is a file. So I'll just print the file, and here you will get the details for the XYZ file. So this is a file details. So we have a details last modified, the file name, size, and this is a type. Okay. So now we need to upload this file. So we can upload this file as I told you. First we are using Firebase. So I'll just type Firebase, and then we are using storage. So I'll just type STO storage. So this is a storage service, and inside the storage we need to create a reference. So reference is just like as a folder name. So let's say my folder name is IMADES images. So here like in the storage, so I'll check is there any folder. So there is no folder, so it will automatically create a folder or directory name as a image. And then we have to define a child. So maybe you can define a child. So here child is a file name. So like maybe I can use, this is a JavaScript object like this one. So I can pick this one. So like file.name will give you the file name. So here we can pass file.name. So like we can upload this file onto the cloud storage with the file name. This will be the file name. And then we for uploading a file, we just need to call put method. And inside put method, we have to pass this file. And again, this is a JavaScript promise, so we have to handle with then and catch block. So I'll just write then, and here we can handle something like console.log, or here we can write alert like file uploaded, file up, or if there any issue, so we can handle with catch block. So I'll just write catch, and then it will give you the error. So we can print the error with console.log and then E. And that's it. So this is a simple logic for uploading a file. So I'll just go to the UI. So this is a UI. So I'll just reload this page and then select a file. So maybe file name is one.png. So we'll wait. So yeah. So right now it will give you the error like Firebase Firestore does not have a permission to access this file. So we have to go to the rules. So this is a Firebase security rules. Okay. So this is the Firebase security rules. So as of now, these security rules, like before uploading a file, you need to authenticate the user. So right now I'm not authenticated any user. So that's why it will give you the error, like you cannot upload the file because you do not have a permission to access this file on this bucket or like on this storage service. So what we can do, we'll just remove the authentication part like request.auth not equal to null to just write true, means anyone can read, anyone can write the data in this particular storage service. So I'll just type true and then click on publish rule, and then I will reload this page again, and then we'll go to the file and then upload the file, wait for a second, and then there's a pop-up file uploaded, and that's it. So I'll go to the file sections. So this is our image directory, images, and inside we have a file one.png. So this is a one.png file. Okay. So similarly, we can upload another file. For example, I want to upload like let's say 4.png. So here, yeah, file is uploaded. So here maybe we'll go for images again. So we have a two files, 4.png and 1.png. So you have any doubt till now? I think this is very easy for you. Just we need to call put method and that's it. So this is a put method logic. Now, what I want to do, I want to get the image URL. Like once we upload the URL, I need to collect the URL for the uploaded one URL. So what I'll do, I'll just write Firebase, like for getting a downloadable URL, you just need to call the function's name is get download URL. So this is a function. The second one. So again, we have to define the same thing, firebase.storage.reference, and then we need to define a child and then get URL function. So this is a JavaScript promise. So we'll handle in catch and button block. So once the file, we have shown this file upload alert box, here we can write a logic again, Firebase. Then we are using storage service. Inside storage, we have to create a reference, like on which reference we want to get the file. So this is a file reference. And then here we can define a child. And I need to collect the download image URL. So I'll just say paste it here, and then we have to call this function. So this function name is get download URL. So I'll just type dot get download URL. And this is JavaScript function will work as a JavaScript promises. So we have to handle with then and catch block. So in the then block, it will return a URL for the downloadable. So I'll just print it here console.log. Here we can print the URL. So I'll just print the URL. And if there are any issues, so we can handle with the catch and then block, like catch block. So this is an error. So we can print the error with the help of console.log e, and that's it. Okay, so same program, like once we change the file, so we will call a function upload file, and first it will upload the file. Once the file will be uploaded, and then we need a downloadable URL. So we are writing a logic for the downloadable URL. So this is a logic here again, like we are using Firebase, inside we are using storage, and then we need to define a reference, like from which reference we need to get the downloadable URL. And from here is a child name, like the downloadable URL for this file, and then this is function name get downloadable URL. Okay, and then this will work as a JavaScript promises, so we need to handle with then and catch block. So then it will return a URL, so we can print the URL, and that's it. So I'll just save. And what I'll do, I'll go to the UI. This is code HTML part. I will just reload this page. And what I'll do, I'll upload different file, maybe 2.png. So file uploaded, and here you get the URL. So this is a downloadable URL. Once you click on this URL, so yeah, it's working. So here, maybe you can check, we have 3 images. You just need to reload this page, or you can go to the image part. And then we have a 2 images, like 1, 2, and 4. And we have, this one is for 2.png, and that's it. Now, I'll show you how we can delete the file. So for deleting a file, we have to follow the same queries. Like first, like we have to write Firebase, and then we are using storage. So we have to write firebase.storage. And then from which directory we need to remove the file. So we want to remove a file from this image as a reference directory, and then which file you need to remove. So here we can pass a file name, and then we need to call delete method. And again, this delete work as a JavaScript promises. So we'll write the same logic. Okay. So what we can do, we will create a function. So here we can create a function's name is delete file here, and here we can pass a file name. So maybe here just I'm writing a variable as a parameter. And then we need to perform a query. So we'll write Firebase. Inside Firebase, we are using storage. Here I have written a storage. And then we need to define a reference. So from which directory you want to remove the file. So my directory is this images. So this images is a directory. So here I will type images. And then we need to define a child, child. Child means the file name. So which file you need to remove. So here, this is a file I need to remove. So for removing a file, you just need to call delete method. Okay. So this delete method will work as a JavaScript promises. So we need to handle with then and catch block. So this is a then block, and this will return a callback. So we can print, like maybe you can write alert box. So alert box like file remove success. Okay. And if there are any issues, so we can print in with the catch block, and this is a catch block. Here we can print error console.log, and that's it. So now we need to call a functions. So we can call this functions here, and then we need to pass a file name. So for example, inside images, we have a 3 file, 1 PNG, 2 PNG, and 4.png. So what I want to do, I want to remove 4.png. So I'll just copy this file name, this one, and this I will paste it here, and that's it. So it will work as a like parameter for this functions. It will goes to the 4.png, and then the queries run like Firebase, and then inside we are using Firestore, and then we have a reference images. This is the images. So spelling is wrong, but yeah. So this is a reference name. So images, and then we'll go to the directory. This is a child 4.png, and then we will call a queries is a delete query, and that's it. So what I'll do, I'll just reload this page, and yeah, file remove, and then you have to reload this page, or maybe you can go to the outer directory, and that's it. We have a two file. Okay, so this is how we can delete the file, we can upload the file, and we can uh, store the file with, and we can get the downloadable URL. Now there is one more query that we can run, which is a list all. So we can call this like functions or a method to get all the file within a directory. So what we can do, we will create a functions again. So I'll just comment this one, and we'll create a function. So my function name is get all file, and this is a function we need to call for getting all the files. So I'll just type Firebase, and then we are using inside Firebase, we are using storage. And then we need to create a reference. So I need to read or get all the file from this directory. So this is a directory name. Here I will just pass. And then what I want to do, I need to get all the files. So we have to call list all as a method, list list all as a method. And again, this is a JavaScript promises. So we have to handle with then and catch block, and it will give you the list of files. Okay, so this is a files. This is not actually file. So this is a files reference. So I'll share how what is the difference between file reference and file. So I'll just print this logic console.log, and here we'll write file ref as a snapshot. And then we can print the error with the help of catch block. And here we can write console.log, and that's it. So now we can call this function. So here is a function we are calling, and that's it. So now we need to call refresh this page. So within a second, you get this details. Okay, so this is the details, and now we have two sections. This is a delegate, and second one is for the service. So if you go to the delegate, so this is a delegate. Inside we have a two items. So two items means we have a two. This one, this is a file as an object. So this is a storage reference. So this is a storage reference. So we can print directly this storage reference. So like here we are printing file reference. So what we can do, file reference dot item. So this one is an item. So I'll just save and then reload this page. So right now we have two file reference. Okay, so this one, these all are the two files. So, but this is not a downloadable URLs directly we can get. So this is a file, file reference we are getting for the specific files. So now what I want to do, this is a list of JavaScript object. So we can perform for each operation. So we'll write file reference dot items dot for each. Here you will get file reference. So this one is for the files reference, and this one is for the file reference. So this one is for the single file reference. So here you will get the details for the single file reference. So I'll just reload this page, and within a second, so this is one by one, you will get the details for this file reference. Now you need to pass this file reference, like this is not a readable file, but you can pass this file reference to the get downloadable URL function, and then you can get the URL. So now what we can do, like we can create a functions. So maybe we can create a functions name is get download URL. This may be a URL from reference, and this is a reference we will pass. And then we need to perform same operations. So this is a like this will be the reference, and then we need to call get download URL as a method, which is for getting a downloadable URL file. So here just we get the URL console.log. We can print the URL. Okay, so we need to call these functions here, like we can get the file reference for the each file reference. Remember, this will give you the files reference, like the collections of all the files. And here we are applying a for each loop. It will give you the specific one by one file reference. And we are passing this file reference to the function to get the URL. So this is a reference, and here you're just getting this one. So I'll just reload this page. And yeah, so we have a two file with the link. So this one is for the second file, first file, and this one is for the different file. Okay. So I think this is a little bit difficult, but again, you have to follow this functionality. Like we have a set of functions we have to call. Like for uploading a file, we have to use put method. For getting the downloadable URL, you just need to call .get download URL as a method. And for deleting a file, for you have to use delete method. And for to get all the file within a directory, you just need to call list all method. So this is how we can get the details list of files. So similarly, we did, like we have written Firebase, and then we are using storage services. So we have used storage, and then we need to collect the file from this reference, and then we have called list all as a method. And this is again a JavaScript promises. So we have to handle with then and catch block. And in the then block, we got a files reference is a collections of files. So this is a file reference. So inside file reference, we have items as a sub object, and inside we will get one by one file reference. So this is a one by one file reference, and then we have passed this one by one file reference to a functions to get the downloadable URL. So this is how we can get the URL, and that's it. So I'll just save, and I'll just reload this page again, and this is the downloadable URL. And I will upload maybe this one 4.png. So I'll click on this one and file uploaded. And when you click on the OK, and this is a downloadable URL for this image. And right now we'll reload this page. So we have three files. These all are the three files. So we can print this file into the UI part. So what we can do for printing the files into the UI part, like maybe here you can create a div element. Here you can pass ID as a result. And what you want to do, you want to print the file. So here we can write a logic, like to get the files. So here we can write document dot get element by ID. So I'll write get element by ID. Here we can pass ID as a result, and then we'll write inner HTML. And then we have to use plus symbol for multiple image file. And then like we can use this symbol for creating a multi-line string, tilde symbol. So here I will just type this one 2 line. So here we can create a multiple string. Now what I want to do, this is a downloadable URL, means the source URL. So we can create an image as an element image, and then we can pass src. Here we can pass a URL. So in the multi-line string, you just need to use $symbol curly braces, and then you need to pass this URL, and that's it. So, or you can apply some CSS. So I'll just type style, and then you can provide a width, custom width is equal to, maybe you can pass for the understanding purpose, like you can pass 100 pixels. And that's it. So you can save and just reload this page. So these all are the file uploaded file. So I'll just type and I will upload this file 3.png. So file uploaded, and I will reload this file. So right now we have 4 files. Okay, so again we can perform operations for the delete. Here also we can perform delete operations. So what we can do, like this is a DOM element. So what we can do, we can wrap with this image file with the div sections. Okay, so we need to close this if element. So we can define some style here for the understanding purpose, like we can add a background. Maybe you can add a background like gray. So I'll reload this page. So we have a file div element. So we can define a style for this one. So I'll just parse the style for here is to here. Okay, it's working. Now we can create a button. So inside we can create a button. So we'll write button as a tag. And then for the deleting, so we'll write here delete. Okay, we have a button. Now we can add some margin. So we can add some margin like bottom is equal to, maybe you can add 4 pixels. Okay, so we have a sections, and here you can apply some padding. So maybe here you can apply some padding for the understanding purpose, 3 pixels. I'll just save and then reload this page. So we have images. So these all are the images. Now we need to perform delete operations on this part. So what I want to do, we'll create a function. So we will create a function's name is on click, and then we need to call this method. So we have already defined, yeah. So this one. So this one is for delete file from the file name. Here we are passing a file name. But again, we have a reference. So what we can do, like we can create a method, functions. So my function's name is delete file from reference, because we are getting a reference. This is a reference. We need to delete this file. So we can pass this reference here. So here, what we can do here, we can call a functions like this function's name is delete reference. Here we can pass this file reference, which we are getting from here. So we can use dollar symbol, curly braces, and then this one. Okay, so here we'll get a reference, and for removing a file, what we can do for removing a file here, we this is a file reference. No need to write firebase.firestore, because this is a considered as a reference, and just you need to perform delete operation, and that's it. And then it will work as a JavaScript promises, so we can handle it then and catch log, and here we can write alert box and file remove success. Okay, so after removing a file, you just need to call these functions again for refreshing the UI, and we can handle with the catch block again. So I'll just slide console.log and then E, and that's it. So this is how we can perform the delete operations from the UI. Okay. So this is the UI. I want to remove this file. So what I'll do, I'll just click on this file. Something is missing. Yes, this one is missing because we have to pass. Let me check. Button close, and yeah, maybe here you get to pass this one, delete file from reference. It then small brackets, and then I'll change. So I'll click on this one. Maybe line 1 argument is missing. Okay. So I'll click on this button. Okay. So I'll click on yellow one. I'll click on this one. Reference.delete is not a function. So I'll check reference. Okay, for deleting a file here, you can maybe for testing purpose, you can print console.log, and then a ref you can print. Okay, so this is a reference. This is a downloadable URL, not a reference. So we want to remove this file name is 2.png. So we can call this is a string we are getting as a reference. And then we need to collect 2.png. So we can remove this part from JavaScript split method, and then we can call the delete operations. So yeah, I'll not go for the advanced part, JavaScript splitting. So do you have any confusion as of now in the file uploading and downloading and get all the file? Okay. So simple thing, like I'll just comment this logic for the delete one because you have to write a JavaScript logic. So maybe you can comment this one or you can remove here because you can do that. Okay, so this is a simple app. Here we have files. So we can upload a file. So maybe we have a 4 files. So yeah, you can add multiple files. Again, yes, do not have a permissions to authorize. Maybe I'll just reload this page. Maybe what is happening. Store image or unauthorized. Okay, maybe we have a multiple files. I'll just remove this one and just reload this. So, okay, I'll reload this page, or maybe you can upload a file here, this one, and yeah, file uploaded, and yes, file uploaded. So maybe you can change the URL or change the tag. Same thing. Okay, so yeah, so like I have created a like empty file for the GitHub for you, so you can check. So I'll give the summary again. So this is a simple program like we have created, like input type is equal to file, and then we are calling a function's name is upload file, and then we have provided ID. So this is ID is a file, and then we are defining a name. It's okay, you can use it or not. So we have selected multiple, and then we are using the same thing. For getting a downloadable URL, you just need to call get download URL as a method name, and then you have to create a reference. So this is a reference. And same for the remove and deleting a file. And next is for the get all the list of files. So you can do that with the help of this one. Okay, so this is how we can use cloud fa- cloud storage in Firebase. Now, like if you have any questions, you can ask me, or you can try at your end. And if you're facing issues, you can reach out to me on our Discord server, and I will definitely check your message. And yeah, now next topic is Firebase dynamic links. The second is topic is Firebase dynamic links. So what is a dynamic links for the Firebase? So this is also can be called as a deep links. So for example, in web, we have a long URL. So we can sort the URLs with some hosted applications like Bitly. There are all lot of sort website. We can sort the URL. But with the help of dynamic URLs, we can directly jump to the applications. For example, I have shared a link of Facebook post. So in a WhatsApp, you just open this URL. There you will get to the ask. Yeah, like you can open this URL onto the website, or you can go for the Android applications. So this is how we can create a dynamic URLs. Like for example, if you have Android applications, like for example, I have shared a URL for the Firebase for web uh, for this event. Okay, and in the WhatsApp group, you just open this URL in your mobile browser in your mobile, and it will give you two things. Like you can open this URL onto the browser, or you need to install GDG Jalandhar Android application to access this URL. So you can do that with the help of Firebase dynamic links. So how we can create a Firebase dynamic links? So you can create a Firebase dynamic links then you can go to the engage, and then we have a section dynamic links. Okay, so this is the dynamic links, and you can click on get started. So if you have already have a domain, you can create a domain. Otherwise, you can go for the free plan. So right now we are using free plan. So here you can write fire uh, page.link. This is the dynamic URL, fire.page.link, and then click on the continue. So this name is already exists. So we can change the URL like file, auth, and test. So we click on must be lowercase. So yeah, test app. Okay, so this dynamic URL is created. Now I need to short this URLs for this one. So this is a URL. This one, this is not. For example, I need to create a dynamic URL for, maybe you can go for the Node.js search. Yeah, this is a Node.js. So I need to create this dynamic URL for the Node.js. So what I do, I'll click on the new dynamic URL button, and then it will go for the URL prefix. So URL prefix means consider as a sort URL. So I'll just type node. So this will be URL. So you can add your sort domain, for example, bit.ly bit.ly/node. So when you redirect to the bit.ly slash, click on bit.ly/node, you will be redirect to the URL, which is this one. And for the dynamic links, you can write node.js website. And what you want to do, like when the user will click on this URL, what you want to do, it will be open on a browser or it will be open on an iOS application. So right now, I have not created any Android applications or iOS applications, so I can directly link to the applications from here. So with the help of dynamic URLs, we can do that. So here next, because we haven't created Android applications or iOS applications, so just type next, and you can add some meta tag for the analytics purpose, and you can add some UTM parameter for the campaigning. So you can do that. So this is the dynamic URLs, and you will get the analytics again. This will work as a sort URL. Just you need to copy and you need to paste it here, and then you can go to the Node.js. So you can work as a like use as a certain type of, and again you can go to the Android applications or iOS application with the help of dynamic URLs. So do you have any doubt, confusion? Dynamic URLs is just like as for the UI purpose. Just we have to create a dynamic URLs with the help of UI. This one is for UI. Or you can create a dynamic URLs with the help of REST APIs. So you just need to go to the documentation. So these all are the documentation. And then you have to go for dynamic URL sections. And then we have create dynamic URL, and then we have a REST APIs. You just need to call REST API for the creating dynamic URL. So for example, you need to create a dynamic URL for this one. You can do that. You have to follow this step, and this is a REST API. Just you need to call. That's it. Okay. So do you have any confusion, doubt? Till now, in the like 5 days, we have explained, we have talked about Firebase, how we can use Firebase, and what are the different services for different features. And then we'll talk about Firebase for web, and then we go for the Firebase authentication, basically Firebase auth with Google, and then we have a email password authentication. And then yesterday I talked about Cloud File Store, and then today I talk about Cloud Storage. So I think you can create entire applications with the help of these services. And tomorrow I'll talk about Firebase cloud functions you can use for creating REST APIs, or you can write your business logic with the help of cloud functions. So I'll suggest you to create a, like you can create a project, mobile mobile directory. Like maybe we can have like what you can do, there will be a single page applications. So this is a single page applications. So for accessing a contact directory, first you need to log in with your Google account. So there will be a sections. You cannot check the contact data once until unless you are not authorized. So there is a button for Google authentications. So when you click on this button, it will be like when you click on this button and once you authenticate the user, so you can show here we can create another screen. uh, yes. Okay, so this one is for the authentication and second screen is for the contact directory. Here you can maybe add two things like username, and second one is for the contact number, and here you can add a button for the add data. So here you can print a list of contact directory. So you have to go for the cloud, apply the Firebase authentication, and then you can apply here for storing a data. Cloud Firestore, you can use it. So you can add perform CRUD operations, like you can create a data, you can read the data, you can edit the data, and you can delete the data. And I think this is very easy, you can create. So we'll give you the deadline by tomorrow, on which date you have to submit this project, and we'll share the mail, these details. So do you have any questions, confusion? Okay. So thank you so much for joining us today. So we'll see you on tomorrow, and we'll talk about cloud functions, how we can create a cloud functions for writing some business logic within a Firebase, within a outside the Firebase, accessing different services and all.